Hey guys. So there's this movie line I heard once, right? And I've been thinking about it lately. And it is something like, we're part of the problem, and we are also part of the solution. Yeah. And so since I've been, thinking about it, it's been on my mind. Today, I'm going to be talking about problem solving. I just heard Vanilla Ice in my head. If you got a problem, I'll solve it. Me personally, okay, I used to try to be a big solver of problems. I think some of us just naturally feel the need to quote unquote fix things. That's probably due to childhood circumstances. I don't know. Could be. Most likely. But I do know that I used to like to use my brain to figure out different solutions for whatever problems I was facing. I mean, it has helped me, yeah? It helped me in my career. It's helped me in parenting. Shit. It has helped me in a fucking lot of things, okay? It has. But what I am learning as I grow in my ascension and step into my own space of healing, that number one, I don't really need to fix anything. And number two, the way I have always problem solved, well, let's just say it is not the only fucking way. And yes, I said it out loud. And now, all that knew me as back then Jen, okay, you have me on record admitting I may be wrong. Remember, perfectionist tendencies and very, very stubborn over here, okay? And yes, I am saying to you, my friend, that even your old way may not be the best way to reach the solutions you truly seek. And so, if you're like me, and it's not an easy thing to admit that your tried and true methods could use a little tweaking, well, it's time to pull up our big girl and or boy pants, and together let's explore problem solving in ways, I don't know, we might not have thought of before, yeah? I'm a big kid now. I'm so fucking random, you guys. This is the shit that pops into my head. And I'm sorry, I tell you all the time, I'm no singer. But yeah, I keep singing to you. Oh well. Just deal with it, okay? Laugh with me. Alright, okay, I'm moving on. So, what I think is we can get stuck in certain ways of solving our issues, our problems. Because, well, a lot of the fucking time, they seem to work, right? I mean, at least from an outside perspective, they do. And what I mean by that is the physical aspect of the current problem seems to go away. But then again, it seems the going away is only temporary, as the problems often resurface, don't they? Like money problems. We can all relate to those. How often have you struggled with money, only to have the situation solve? Like, I don't know, your raise came through, or your income tax came at just the right time. Oh shit, maybe you just finally folded your fucking laundry and found that $20 you thought you lost last week, yeah? I don't know. Pick your avatar, okay? And what happens? Your problem seems solved. But a few months later, you're back to the money struggle again. And you chalk it up to your life sucks. But it's not ever the case. Life doesn't suck, you guys. The reason it happens the way it does is all around the way you solve the problem itself. You focused on the logic and forgot about the feeling. I guess what I mean is, it's because the logic of the problem being solved is flawed. When we base the solution on physical, it naturally stays in the physical. When we base the solution on consciousness instead, it transcends dimensions and allows us to view the problem from a far greater perspective. And I'll explain. But first, let's look at why I got here and how I got to this distinction. Check out my hook while the DJ revolves it. Dung, 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 dung. I'm sorry, it's stuck in my head now. So, I started feeling into this notion. And of course, I asked for guidance. Because how can I solve problems differently if I don't ask for guidance from a higher consciousness? Or communicate with my guides about it? I mean, the way I look at it, I'm still human. So alone, I will just stay revisiting the logic behind how I solved this and how I solved that, and I'll loop into a cycle that doesn't serve the purpose of what I'm trying to discover within myself. Like the money example I just talked about. Even when we heal, okay, we still need guidance, you guys. And we should welcome that loving guidance. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's what I do. But over time, I've learned that the best way to ask is really to know. It sounds fucking weird, right? I know. Trust me, I know. But stay with me, okay? So, there's this old prayer, and I'm sure you've heard it. But basically it says, ask and ye shall receive. And I think that's a big part of our problem-solving issues, is when we pray or meditate, we ask, and then we wait. And wait. And wait. And we think that waiting is us being faithful, right? But I started wondering about how come so many times we ask and never receive? And at first I thought about divine timing, and yeah, that can play into it sometimes. I do believe that. But my guides kept pushing me to discover more. So then I thought, well, maybe our vibrations are not aligned. And I heard, keep going. And I'm like sitting here like, fuck. I'm like, fuck, what am I not understanding? Again, I am healing, but still human. So at first, my problem solving of this question involved me relying heavily on my brain still. Remember, it's a process, this healing journey, right? It is a process. And remember that brain part, because it'll be important later on. Maybe there'll be a fucking pop quiz, huh? What does he say? Ice, ice, baby, too cold, too cold. Dung, 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 dung. I told you it's stuck in my head. Anyway, so, fuck. I went back to that prayer, yeah, and I read it, and there's multiple verses around it, of course. But as I usually do with, religious scripts or anything, I don't know, that's been around for a long time that is just accepted as consensus, like blindly accepted. I don't know. I just felt maybe there's more to this. And look, I've said before, I'm not religious, okay? I believe in many aspects of the spiritualness of different religions, but I don't believe in what humans have done to it. I don't know. To segregate spiritual beliefs and pit believers against each other in what is supposed to be the name of love feels wrong to me. And so I just don't find a lot of the religious practices very spiritual anymore. Me personally, I feel them controlling. And again, my view is my own, and it is not a dig at what anybody believes. It's not at all. I always say we are unique and should find our own path. But I am allowed to believe in my own way just as you are, right? To me, it's all about the love within you. And if you find it through religion, then I believe that's beautiful. Beautiful for you. It's just not the way I found works for me, is what I'm saying. So I do. Often I'll probe into things, right, that otherwise could be just accepted as, I don't know, fucking old faith, and therefore always fact. I don't know. I just need more sometimes. And a big part of me accepting my own faith is knowing that is what Spirit wanted from me all along. I guess I just resonate more with individuals finding their own way through their own conscious experiences and enlightenments, learning more on their own if something doesn't make sense, or if something really resonates, right? Either way, that just speaks more authentically to me. As always, since I believe in the connection of self and universe, I just encourage you, if you're seeking your own way, to just be open. Be kind, be love, and the way for you will naturally appear. It might be slow, right? There's a lot of conditioning to break through as humans, but it will come if you keep following your own inner light and remain with what rings true for you. Anyway, I think a lot of religions tweak the writings and change to fit the narrative. Even kings of the past who were entrusted to record doctored the script to suit what they thought or felt or wanted. King Charlemagne comes to mind immediately. You can look him up and see what I'm saying. This ain't no history podcast. Look, I'm sorry, but bottom line is humans are human. History doesn't change that. Being a king in history doesn't change that. It's how it goes, okay? And to think that just because a man claims to be religious means he is above human notions or influence of ego, well, that's a little gullible. I mean, think about it. How can a human be above another human? We don't believe that in real life, right? We push against that notion in this society all the time. We fight the control of other humans who think or act above us. I mean, from bad parents to bad police to bad politicians to bad bosses. If it feels unjust, we fight it. But if it feels unjust as a religious concept, we don't. How does that make sense? Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't fucking make sense. Not one bit spiritually does this make sense. Because we all have the ability to be spiritual. Actually, we all are spiritual. And that means we can read energies, connect to the consciousness of the higher dimensions, connect to spirit, and seek our own truths. Honestly, all I'm saying is if something doesn't sit right or feel right to you, no matter who is saying it, You have the ability to see beyond and know the truth of what is for your best and highest good. It is that fucking easy. And yes, for the record, spiritual people can swear, eat meat, drink coffee or wine, or enjoy sex. At least the cool ones do. Kidding. Not really, but no. So what I'm saying is that anything that demonstrates that you're evil for doing those things should, in my opinion, be questioned. But hey, I've never been a cooperative member of the herd, so don't take my word. Just see for yourself and use your inner guidance. Because I truly believe the power is within you. I mean, if you say you trust the universe, God, source, spirit, whatever, then because we are all collectively connected as consciousness, that means that in order to do so, you must learn to also trust in you. Anyway, yeah, so I was pointed in the direction to review that prayer. And I found that it actually was changed. And guys, it most likely was due to translation error. It was like fucking ancient cliff notes, I don't know. But because it also happens to hinder how we understand and are able to manifest or ask and receive, I don't know. Maybe draw your own conclusions around it, yeah? We all can only speculate, right? But we can choose how we proceed once we learn more at any point in our lives. I'm just fucking saying. But here's the actual translation of that prayer. It says, all the things that you ask straightly, directly from inside my name, you will be given. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped in what you desire, that your gladness be full. And I'm like, And I, being who I am, of course, I want to learn more. I want to learn more on this. And so I continue to ask my guides to show me what I need to know. And I let it go. I let it go. And then a few days later, you guys, I come across a video on YouTube that blew my fucking mind. It's from Gregg Braden. And it's about a lost method of prayer that allows us to be part of the solution and not just ask and wait. And of course, I'm like, holy shit. And then I watched it, you guys. And he was talking about the same prayer that I was researching for this episode. And then I was like, holy fucking shit. Oh my gosh. So many synchronized events lining up is how I know I'm on my right path. It's how I know I'm talking about what I'm meant to be talking about. I've learned to see these synchronicities as the consciousness unfolding for my humanness to grasp. And I, for one, do not dismiss that. If you've ever experienced them, I'm sure you also understand how magical synchronicities can be. And if you want to experience them, you can. Again, be open and listen to people who are trying to show different ways as to how you can get there. Again, you will know the right ways for you. And if you feel the need, you can ask for signs to correlate what you're seeing. And before you know it, you don't have to ask anymore. The signs just keep coming because you're so open to seeing them. It's about being vibrationally aligned to receive. So, if you don't know who Gregg Braden is, let me read the excerpt from his website real quick, and I promise you, I just Googled it now as I write for this episode, okay? But it says, quote, from 1979 to 1991, Greg worked as a problem solver during times of crisis for Fortune 500 companies. He continues problem solving today as his work reveals deep insights into the new human story and how the discoveries inform the policies of everyday life and the emerging world. Unquote. Dude, a problem fucking solver, you guys. You, my friends, have just witnessed a synchronized event in this podcast. Live. I'm not even kidding. I have never visited his website before to know that problem-solving bit. I just watch his shit on YouTube, honestly. I fucking love this shit, you guys. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. That's all I gotta say. I get I can't even talk now, I'm so excited. I get synchronicities all the fucking time. I do. But for it to come as I'm doing the episode, well, damn. I think that's pretty fucking cool. Okay. So, in the video, right, he gives an example in his own life about prayer and providing solutions. And I'm going to tell it to you, of course, but I'm going to use the Jen Notes version, okay? So he talks about this time in the 1990s where he was living somewhere in the Southwest, and it was a very bad drought, right? Like, no rain for like fucking 5 years, you guys. We're talking like dead crops, dead cattle, all around fucking bad times. Fucking aliens weren't even visiting Area 51 because it was so fucking dry, yeah? A friend of his, right, asked him if he wanted to join, as he had decided to go pray for rain at a sacred space built by ancestors. And, of course, Greg was like, hell yeah, you know, and he went and observed his friend in this ritual. And he said the friend stepped into the sacred space. It was like a very old stone wheel type, you know, round circle thing. I don't know how else to describe it. I wasn't there. But nobody knows how long it's been there. It's very old. Ancient peoples built it. Yada, yada, yada. So his friend stepped into this very old sacred ground barefoot, and he connected with the earth. And he thanked his ancestors. He thanked the 6 directions, and he put his hands over his heart in prayer. And then Greg, as an unknowing Westerner, that's what he called it, an unknowing Westerner. I would have been like, Greg was ignorant and didn't know any better, so he had expected more. A chanting or dance, perhaps. But no, the friend, after the brief prayer, he opened his eyes and he looked over at Greg and was like, hey man, you hungry? Okay, so side note, I fucking love the authentic nature of this whole story. Remember, we don't know what we don't know. I think it's okay for us to admit sometimes that we just don't know things. That's how we learn, whether it be from other cultures or Google or what the fuck ever. Yeah? I don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And I just love that he admits it flat out like that. I just love the authenticity. I'm just saying. But anyway, what comes next really cemented a whole new level of understanding in me. And I thought, you know, maybe it could help other people too. So here we go.
Entry sensor. Battery low.
That was weird. So, Greg says, you know, yeah, man, I could eat, but I thought you wanted to pray for rain. And this is what his friend said. His friend told him, no. If I prayed for rain, rain could never happen here. Because if I did that, I am telling the universe that rain does not exist here. If I pray for something to happen, I am acknowledging that it is not here now. When I closed my eyes, I felt the feeling of what it feels like when it rains. felt what it feels like to stand with my feet covered in mud from the wet, wet earth. I smelled what the rain smells like when it combines with earth and rock. I felt the abundance of crops as the big corn stalks brushed against my chest as I walked through the fields because we have had so much rain. And then I gave thanks for all the rain that has already happened. See, it's about acknowledging that there is a higher source, a higher dimension or being than what we only see physically, and that the way to communicate with that divine source is through feeling. Feeling is the lost art of prayer. Feeling is manifesting. Feeling as if the desire is already here is how it becomes. Ancient people know it. Abraham Hicks knows it. Greg Braden knows it. The law of attraction is very real and is as old as the universe itself. Everything is feeling. Everything vibrates. The frequency of what you feel comes from your heart. And that beats out into the universe to bring back the same resonance to you. I don't know. It makes me wonder why we were left in the dark about the ease of using it for so very long. And also, maybe why other people before stopped asking the same question. And also, why do we dismiss it like fantasy? But hey, that guy wearing the robe and passing around a collection plate to take your money must be more right. Yeah? I don't know. He also mentions how prayer is a code with which we communicate with the universe, and it isn't centered to any religion. And I, for one, believe that too, with all my heart. We are in a sense of disconnection with spirit, humanity today. And the solving of the problem with that is to reestablish that connection. Because there is no way forward from here unless we do. Sometimes the so-called rules can make us feel more disconnected. And I just feel like that was never meant to be the use for how prayer or meditation or manifestation, how any of that worked, how our communication with spirit was meant to work. I do not believe we were ever meant to feel individually disconnected from our own divinity. Again, when and why did people before stop questioning? I don't know. This is all just a humble healing podcaster's point of view. But hopefully it's something to make you think instead of blindly following all the so-called rules all the time. I say, let yourself expand into wonder a little. Yeah? So, back to the rain. That night, clouds rolled in, and it rained and rained all night through the next day. It rained so much that the ground couldn't absorb it all, and it started fucking flooding, you guys. So Greg calls his friend, and he's like, hey, what the heck happened? Now we have all this going on. And the friend, he said to him, you know, man, that's the one part the ancestors could never figure out. We know how to tell it to rain, but we don't know how to tell it how much. Again, authentic. And of course, there is no brain logic, right, to prove this all happened because of the rain prayer. But those who know synchronicity and how it works understand that there are no coincidences. And honestly, to the naysayers, life is much more adventurous and fun when you allow it to be. Connectedness just feels better. It's a better C word than coincidence. So, I don't know. Maybe just stop being so damn judgy all the time. All that does is make you that other C word. In my humble opinion, of course. So, in the video, he talks about the prayer I mentioned above and the translation of it, yeah? And the words came from the book of Thomas, who scribed for the teacher, Jesus, a student recording the knowings of his teacher. And these became the oldest known recording of the New Testament, the Dead Sea Scrolls being the oldest known recording of the Old Testament. So let's work through it with Greg. This is his breakdown, okay, not mine. I find it interesting and informative, and I don't take credit for words that aren't mine, but I will streamline them in my own way, okay? So here's the prayer again whole, for fucking memory's sake. All the things that you ask straightly, directly from inside my name, you will be given. Ask without hidden motive and be surrounded by your answer. Be enveloped in what you desire, that your gladness be full. Okay? So ask without hidden motive means having no attachment to the outcome. Be surrounded, be enveloped. The only way to be is if those things are already present, already here with you now. You are coming from a place where the prayer has already been answered. So you guys, it's about feeling, and feeling with all the senses. Turn your attention to how you feel when you're living with answered prayers is how they will be answered. It's fucking spiritual Jeopardy, okay? Where the answer already is given, and your answer has to be the question. How do I feel? What do I see, smell, taste, hear? Feel in order to know. And I'll tell you my own version, okay? The last year and a half, there's been a lot of changes for me. A lot of fucking changes, you guys. I mean, life looks much different now than it ever has before. And honestly, I'm not sure what's next. I'm not. But I know I'm not afraid. See, I want adventure in life, both big and small. I want to be surrounded by beautiful feelings every day that make me feel the love of life. I just fucking do, okay? And I'm gonna. Be it with people, places, or what have you. I want to feel like this and do these things because I didn't do a lot for me and my own sense of self for a long, long time. And so one thing I have meditated on is being able to travel this year. Hold on. I'm back. Sorry. Where was I? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I meditated about being able to travel. Yeah, I did. And then I let it go. Because I had no means to make epic travel plans, right? I mean, physically, I need to, save money and shit like that because I have other more pressing things going on, right? But I know I want to travel. And so I did. I manifested that for myself. I felt myself traveling the way the plane feels when it takes off. The taste of the fucking cheap-ass trail mix they give you now. The sound of the waves of the ocean. The smell of suntan oil. Visuals of me packing my suitcase. I did. I felt all that shit, you guys. And so far, my 2023 started with a 6-week trip to New England. And now, today, actually, if you're listening to this the day it uploads, I'm headed to Panama City, Florida for 6 days of sun in a beachfront condo. Thank you very much. And look, there was no plan for them. These trips were guided to me. I got a phone invite a week ago about Florida and was generously offered a paid stay. Yours truly was more than happy to oblige. Basically, Spirit said, Here, Jen. Here's some of that travel for you. Love you. Kiss, kiss, right? And honestly, it felt amazing. It felt amazing to get that invite. It did. And it will continue to feel amazing when my manifestations keep coming into my life because I feel and I am grateful for what I already have. When I flew out of New England, I thanked the universe for allowing me so much time there. Feeling what you want and feeling grateful for the ways you have had it in life is how you bring about more of that. It just is. So I'm saying, don't you dare fucking knock it until you try it. And really commit to it, you guys. And be grateful for what you have been able to do already. Just like that rain prayer. Yeah? I'm sorry. Hold on one more minute, okay? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Something just came to me and it came very fast, so I had to write it down, so I had to stop recording real quick. But my guides are telling me it needs to be here. So, as always, I do apologize for disruptions if they bug ya. But I am living real here, okay? So, there are usually background noises around me. And honestly, downloads come to me when they do. So, just understand that much like you, I can't control things all the time. But the message is important. So, those who are meant for it are here listening. And I'm being told that they thank you for that. They thank you for that. Okay. So, here's what came to me. If we manifest with our feelings, I can't be the only one who finds it odd that the world is turning more and more to tech that makes life as virtual as possible. People are already living so much by screens that it takes away the need to feel in the real world at all. And if feeling gets us to our desires, if feeling is how we answer our prayers and manifest, doesn't it seem awful convenient that we are being pushed to unconsciously release our ability to create for ourselves? We too easily accept that tech is always an advancement. It seems to me that maybe tech has been a factor in stopping us from living how we are spiritually meant to in order to achieve our highest timelines. Thing is we hand over our control to the ease of the tech. I mean, virtual reality, guys. It's fucking clear as clear can be. If we are virtually living, then we are virtually feeling, not actually feeling using our power within. Our eyes don't feel manifestation into being. Our hearts do. And I think we need to be mindful of that as tech is pushing more and more for us to forget our humanness, forget our spiritual bodies, and live in a world where our senses are dulled down by a screen. I mean, look. If you can flick a screen all day to watch TikToks for fucking 30-second spans, then surely you can tap into your own senses for a few minutes to see what your dreams are actually made of. That's what manifested reality is, you guys. Your dreams come to life. Be they simple or wild, daring or safe, all valid if they make you feel, I don't know, fucking alive again. It seems like an easy thing to try, at the very least. And if you should still doubt, well, I want you to know that I feel your dreams are worth it. And I am rooting for you. Shit, someone's gonna get your heart going. I don't know. It makes sense to me. But again, it's on you to decide. Choose to feel. Think less. Feel more. So I do. I hope you try. And if you do get stuck back in your head, just use that time to think of all your problems being solved. Instead of doubt, see yourself stepping into your own power. Or I don't know, maybe just sing Ice Ice Baby. Whatever works, huh? Dung 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 dung. And normally I don't close my episodes like this. I don't, but I want to close this episode with a small ask. If you like this podcast and you haven't subscribed, please do so. And also, if you're interested, I have added this podcast as a channel on YouTube, so you can now listen there as well. Just search Jenna Zenish and you'll see my shiny face. I also want to take this time to thank you all. Thank all of you have gifted me your ears. This podcast has helped me in my own journey, and I am truly humbled by how many of you are using it for your journeys. As of the time I am recording this, I am blessed to tell you that you all have pushed me over 11,000 downloads. I am completely grateful and utterly amazed at your love. I am. So thank you. And since you listen to me regularly, you know that I usually don't ask for subs or whatnot, you know? But when it comes to platforms like YouTube, the system is literally a game, you guys. It just is. It's all based off numbers and clicks. Because it's a computer that runs YouTube. It's not fucking guys in cubicles, you know? It's an actual computer. It's AI running the platform. And the way that it works, you have to have views and likes and clicks. And we all got to start at the bottom. That's just how it goes. So, if you enjoy my content and you want to help more people who may need the messages be able to find them, please head over to YouTube and give your girl some subs. Watch some vids and throw up a few likes. There is some different healings posted there as well as daily shorts and that sort of thing. And I mean, look at it this way. You are helping another manifestation come to life by doing so. And that is a powerful thing, you guys. And of course, you're reaping your own good karma by helping another human being. And I love you for it. I do. So thank you. If you decide to head over, thank you in advance. You're a beautiful little problem solver. And yeah, so I'm going to close out now. Be sure to come back for the next weekly upload. It will be downloaded to me while I'm in the Sunshine State. A new locale, you guys. A new place to record. I'm excited for what's to come. And I hope you are too. Okay. I send you much, much love. That's all for now, my friends. I will talk to you all later. Bye.